Hey guys, this is Alex703 Rockstar, and I am back for another album review. Time for Between the Buried and Me, the Great Misdirect, and I haven't made a review on my request list for a while, and I figured that since I haven't made a review in general in a while, I'm just going to do one that I sort of feel like reviewing. It's just sort of to fill space, and I've been eager to talk about this album. The other day I Facebook chatted with Austin about this album, and I know he was a little confused. He's like, "What are you trying to say about this album?" And I was just like, "It's good," but I apologize for that. But this is an album that I'm enjoying lately. I want to talk about it. So Between the Buried and Me are a metal band from Raleigh, North Carolina that play sort of a very progressive heavy metal style, and I found out about them from Velocities and Music channel, who since I still think I may have more subscribers than them somehow, and if I don't, no big deal, they're much better reviewers than I am, but I'll link them in the down bar. And they reviewed the Between the Buried and Me's last album, Colors, which I promptly picked up after the review and thoroughly enjoyed. And The Great Misdirect is like an organized version of Colors. Colors was all over the place, and it had great concepts that did not necessarily have the organizational skills to pull out off a great album. Now this album is very organized in terms of like, we're going to do this here, and then we're going to bridge into this, and then we'll slow down here. We'll have a couple slow down songs to pace the heavy songs. But it's not to say that this album is not experimental, because it's so experimental. I'd say it's almost their most experimental release. They hardly repeat a single riff on this album, sometimes to the point of being annoying, because sometimes I like a riff and I want it to be repeated. Now obviously I'm exaggerating, they do repeat riffs, but just not very much. It's definitely an album that takes a while to get into. I thought it was really only average until the third or fourth listen, where certain songs such as Disease, Injury, Madness, and Fossil Genera, A Feed from Cloud Mountain, really hit me hard. What I like that they did on this album is that they actually had sort of slowed down moments to break up the breakneck pace and just show that they can write very beautiful music without these very heavy notes, this heavy metal all over it. One thing, though, a criticism of this is that they should have done more slow parts. They show that they're clearly extremely good at this, and they should have done more, because there are points where it's too much fucking ridiculous trigger drumming everywhere, and it really at times just seems like they're trying to show off their instruments, which is a shame, because they're good songwriters. And when it comes to the songwriting, I didn't pay much attention to the lyrics, but from what I read in the booklet, it just seems like, I wouldn't call it trite, but it's definitely lyrical content that's been covered before, most definitely. And it seems like they sort of have this feeling like, oh, we're so original doing this concept, when it's really not. I mean, it's talking about like the government misdirecting you and religion misdirecting you, and all those things are fun, but it's been done before. What else did I have to say about this album? Oh yeah, it definitely does not kick in until the middle of the album. The first track, it really is an introduction track, and then after that you have Obfuscation, which I don't think is the greatest song. It's nice and heavy, but what's the expression? The water has already been treaded there. I definitely said that wrong, but it's already been done before, that type of stuff. And Swim to the Moon, the last song on this album, there are only 6 tracks, seems like it's an 18-minute song, and it seems like it's 18 minutes because they had to have a 20-minute song in there, pretty much. It seems it doesn't completely justify its length, although it certainly has its moments. Definitely the drum fills are much more creative and original than on Colors. I think the drummer went from being a very good drummer, a very learned drummer, to one that is actually a very creative drummer in the 2 years that between the two albums. And I really like the singer's clean vocals too. They're fantastic. His screams are good, but sort of they've I don't want to say run of the mill, because that makes them seem very average, but they've been done better, let's say, by other people. But overall, yeah, I think this is a very, very strong metal album. I like Between the Buried and Me a lot. I think they're coming out with a new album this year. I want to pick it up. I think the lead singer's coming out with a solo album this year. I want to pick that up. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Oh wait, hold on. One sentence synopsis of the new Radiohead album, because I'm not going to give it a full review. Here we go. Radiohead made an album where it was clear that they were listening to a lot of Flying Lotus, and while it could have been better thought out, and while it could have been longer, it's still a decent piece of music that probably would have garnered a lot less criticism had it not been Radiohead. There you go. Anyway, to copy The Amazing Atheist, peace the fuck out. We are out. I have to go cook some rice because I need dinner. All right.